Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for this update. I'm here today with Mrs. Bosler, and we're going to go through our results from our 2025-2026 cSurvey results. These surveys are such a vital tool for our district because they allow us to hear directly from our parents, students, and community members who really make our district what it is. Before we dive into the data, I'll give you a little bit of information on how the survey was conducted this year. We administered a survey developed by DESE, and we did this over a 2-week period from October 21st through November 3rd. We're really pleased with the engagement this year. To give you an idea of the scale of the feedback, we heard from 614 students, which is actually our largest participating group compared to years past, 152 parents, and we've also heard from 91 staff members across the district. I'll hand it over to Mrs. Bosler. She's going to discuss our strengths and some opportunities for growth. Mrs. Bosler.
All right, thank you. We're going to start with our strengths. As we were looking at our strengths, we wanted to highlight a strength that we found from our student surveys, a strength that we found from our staff surveys, and one from our parents. So, starting with students, one question that they were asked was, "My school gives all students a chance to succeed." And overwhelmingly, we had 87.4 students agree or strongly agree with that statement, which I think really highlights that students recognize the supports that we're able to provide all students, whether you're talking academically, socially, extracurricular activities, all those things. They recognize those supports and are taking advantage of those supports, as well as, of course, the supports that our teachers really provide them in all areas. For our parents survey, in a very similar way, our parents had a statement that said, "My child receives the educational support that they need." And we had 82.9% of parents agree or strongly agree with this statement. I know that we work very hard as a district to really foster that collaborative approach. We've seen that, I think, in previous surveys where parents feel that way, all the way from the elementary level and the primary level, all the way to the high school level. So I think, this statement shows that we do make a very committed effort towards the success of every child. I know Darren was just sharing with me a statement about someone that moved away recently. And, she called back saying, how do I get back in your district? We don't live here, but is there a way that I can get back in the district? So I think, whether you're a part of the district or have had to leave the district, due to relocation, that they see and recognize that we do go that extra step for our students to really make sure that all students succeed. And then for our staff responses, excuse me, I actually had two that jumped out to me. And number one is 98.9% of staff reported feeling safe at school. So definitely, I know the measures that we continue to take with safety are very important to us. With Deputy Nanny and the steps that he takes, as well as the district initiatives that we've done in the past or are looking forward to taking in the future. All of those make our staff feel super safe at school. So that's number one. And then number two, they said the principal fosters a shared vision and encourages cooperation. And 92% of staff agreed or strongly agreed to that statement. So I think that just shows that we work with all staff members. It doesn't matter what your department is or what your role is in the district, that all staff are really working together to, again, ensure the success of those students that we noted above. So, and to get the results that we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Those are great points. And of course, the reason why we do these surveys is just not to look at what's working, but other ways that we can actually improve. And based on the data, we've identified a few opportunities for growth.
Yeah, one of our areas that we've kind of talked about in the last few years is the respect between students. Um, that continues to be an area that we need to work on. The students noted that, or our students scored 54.5% of students, parents, and staff actually all agreed that students treating students with respect is something that we need to continue to work on. I know at my level, I see, and I can't believe it's already happening at that primary level, but like students are starting to they're saying they're roasting students. And so it's a situation where students are saying something that they think is going to be perceived as funny, but in the end, it's not, it's not funny. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the student that you're saying it to. And of course, we as parents and we as educators and teachers feel that it's disrespectful as well. So I think really continuing to educate students on that, whether they're seeing it online or, they're watching videos of, popular influencers doing these things, they're bringing it then to school and trying it with their friends. And unfortunately, they're not getting the same results because when you're the person that it's directed to, it's not really funny. And so I think really is just working with students about what it means to show respect to students, that's not one of those areas that we're going to do with roasting kids. It's hard as adults to get roasted and to be
Yes.
able to take it. So really focusing on how to show respect between students, I think is something that we need to continue to work on. It was up, I will say, it was up 16 points from last year.
Mhm.
So that's great, but I think it's something that we still need to continue to work on to make sure that students feel respected and are, getting along. Let's see. As far as staff and students, one of the things that we noted is that teachers feel that students feel that teachers treat them with respect. So students feel very strongly that their teachers and our teachers are treating them with respect. But when the tables are turned and we ask the question, are students treating teachers with respect? It scored 52.4% of students agreeing on that. So only about half of our students are agreeing or strongly agreeing that that respect is given back to our teachers. So I think that really allows us to talk about that mutual respect, to make sure it's fostered both ways, and to have just conversations with students, to ask them, give us examples of
Mhm.
when you feel that teachers are not being treated with respect. It may not be happening in the classroom, like it could be that in the classroom setting, that respect is shown, but maybe outside of the classroom, in the cafeteria when they're talking about teachers, on the ball field, things like that. Maybe that's whenever students are saying, hey, that respect's not carrying out, and, behind the scenes or behind their backs, they're talking about teachers in a negative way. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's the case, but I think it's something and an opportunity for us to further explore with students to actually see, when do you feel this lack of respect is happening if you are saying that it's not there.
Yes, that's a great point.
And then overall, another area that we can continue to work on or want to work on. I know he talked about our numbers overall were stronger as far as participation from last year, but our parent participation did decrease by approximately 55% from last year. So I think as we go forward into next year, one of the areas that we need to explore is how can we get more feedback from our parents. We usually do this survey right around parent teacher
Mhm.
conferences. So maybe providing opportunities, knowing that you're coming into the building for those conferences and those student led conferences, maybe giving an opportunity for those, QR codes to be right there as you're waiting outside in the hallway for your turn, those types of things, to allow for greater participation. I know a lot of times we send those out ahead of time. We want to give you an opportunity to do that in your own home setting, but maybe providing an opportunity in our school setting too while you are coming into our building for those parent teacher conferences might help to increase that.
I agree with that, and also, I think the other disconnect is parents might fill one out for one building, not realizing that you also need to fill it out for the other building so that that building can receive its specific feedback. And then we compile all those at the district level. So yeah, excellent points, and thank you for all your insights, Mrs. Bosler.
Yes.
It's clear we have a lot to be proud of, and we also have a very clear roadmap on how to keep improving. To everyone listening, whether you're a student, staff member, or a community member, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to fill out our surveys and for being a partner in making Jefferson R-VII the best that it can be. We take our feedback very seriously, and we look forward to growing together. If you would like to review all of the building level data and district level data, we'll include a link with this podcast. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you.